The flame that walks the inverted tower's mirror trembles. A single ember flickers forth, walking. It carries itself as a figure, flame-shaped and formless. It surveys Elijah, Lysandra, Alec, and steps into the world. Echoes of the past suddenly, memories cascade into their minds. Elijah's first hope, Lysandra's exile, Alec's promise. The walking flame speaks, not in words, but in emotion I dreamt together. The council of shards, shattered glass walls rearranged into floating shards. Within them, distorted reflections of the trio appear, doppelgangers crafted from possibilities. They demand allegiance, join us or be lost. Fire and reflection, Lysandra counters by merging her reflection in the glass with her flame sigil, sending a ripple that silences the council. The shards shatter and reveal a spiraling staircase descending below. The subterranean archive, they descend to a cavern of echoing whispers. Tomes bound in molten silver float mid-air. Each tome is a potential world. Their names glow in one, the world unwritten. Pen of creation, a giant feather pen hovers near the tome. To open it, one must write their name. Elijah hesitates. He fears writing names that should not exist. But Lysandra steps forward, and the tome opens with her name etched in gold. The unwritten realm, they step into a realm of mist and promise, where life forms grow from words spoken. Alec's spoken command births a tree, but chaos follows, a storm of half-formed creatures drawn to their fear. Sigil of containment, Lysandra draws a twin flame sigil above her head. The creatures freeze. She whispers calm into the chaos. Trees bloom fully. The balance holds, only for now. The bound reader, they encounter a figure bound in ink, hands chained, eyes hollow. He is the last reader, cursed to witness all possible stories but never finish one. He begs their aid. A choice of endings, the reader offers them endings, written in flame on parchment. Victory, tragedy, sacrifice. They must choose how their story continues. Chosen endings will shape this world's future. Thread of compassion, Elijah reads, healed bonds. He chooses that path, knowing the story could unravel everything else. The inksmith's gift, the reader hands them a vial of ember ink, capable of rewriting destinies. Alec takes it and inscribes the reader as free on the reader's chains. They clatter to ash. Mirror communion above them, the inverted mirror reappears. Through it, they glimpse their destiny, leading worlds into harmony or collapse. The flame in Lysandra's eyes flickers doubt. The world birth spiral, the mists lift, revealing a spiral walkway reaching into the sky. At the top, a blank page floating in space, waiting for them to write. Signing fate alone, Lysandra kneels and uses the ember ink to sign both their names on the page. As ink touches page, the flame in the sky ignites. The resonance, a shockwave of creation, ripples outward. Mountains rise, seas form, creatures awaken in the mist. The world begins to breathe. They stand on the newborn world's shore. The flames lament, but the walking flame trembles, fading toward nothingness. It whispers, creation demands release. We are born to die. Alec steps forward, grief in his voice. Embers of legacy, they surround the flame. Together they breathe it out, twinned breath of flame and ash. It explodes into light, scattering embers that vanish into the new world. The flame is gone, but its legacy remains in their veins. First dawn of world, sunrise breaks over endless fields. Birds call, crystals sparkle. It is peaceful, terrifying, wondrous. They realize they stand at the beginning, a song yet unfinished as they embrace. The horizon ripples. Beyond it, another tower, another mirror, another story. But they smile, no longer afraid of possibility. Embers in the wind, the trio stood in silence, watching the embers vanish into the breeze. Lysandra placed her hand on the ground. Warmth pulsed beneath her fingers like a heartbeat. This world remembers us, she said softly. Alec sat beside her, still gripping the ember ink vial, though it was empty now. Elijah looked toward the horizon. But what if something else remembers too? The skyfold tears without warning. The sky above cracked like glass, fractures of light spiraling outward. From the rents descended strange silhouettes, robed figures of smoke and bone, wielding glyph-etched staffs. They spoke no language, yet Elijah understood. The act of creation has summoned the wardens. Lysandra drew her twin feathered blade, ready to defend what they had made. Alec raised a hand. Let them speak. We may have rewritten more than just fate. Tribunal of the Veil, the wardens formed a perfect triangle around them. One extended a bony hand and pressed it to Elijah's forehead. Visions cascaded, worlds unraveled, remade, corrupted, all because of mortal interference. You have stolen the fire of the gods, came their judgment. You must now become its stewards, or be its ashes. The steward's brand, each of them was branded, silently, without pain, on their palms, a mark of living flame encased in a ring of mirror shards. This is the steward's brand, the warden intoned. It will glow when the realms begin to fracture. Lysandra examined her mark, then nodded. We'll protect what we've made. We owe it that much. The wardens vanished as swiftly as they came, the sky knitting itself shut behind them. A single shard of mirror remained where they'd stood, pulsing faintly. The shard's warning. When Elijah picked up the shard, it showed them a distant mountain and a storm spiraling above it. In the eye of the storm, another tower, a mirror-shaped beacon flashing violet. This world is unfinished, Lysandra whispered, and something else is trying to finish it for us. Alec nodded grimly. We can't walk away, not this time. They set off toward the mountain. Crossing the skyroot forest, the journey took them through a forest where trees grew upside down, roots in the air. Moss whispered old names and vines shaped themselves into letters. Welcome back. They found signs of other life. Campfires long dead, woven totems shaped like eyes. Lysandra paused at one, recognizing the symbol. These are from Kyle's pilgrims, she murmured. He's been here. The forgotten fountain at the forest's heart was a fountain that shimmered with memory instead of water. Each drop reflected moments from their past, not real memories but twisted versions. Lysandra saw herself as Queen of Ash, Alec as a betrayer, Elijah dead. They turned away quickly, disturbed, but the fountain whispered, the closer you get, the more the world remembers. Hunters of the hollow howl night fell, and the forest became a maze. From the trees came low howls, deep, echoing. Lupine shadows stalked them, creatures made of memory and bone. Elijah's sword passed through one, but Alec's warden mark flared and the creature dissolved. These aren't beasts, Alec said. They're regrets. Only by acknowledging them could they be banished. The clock root grove they found refuge in a grove of time-locked trees. Each leaf froze mid-fall, each branch mid-bend. A massive tree stood in the center with gears embedded in its bark. Time here moved differently. One moment felt like hours or days. They rested, but each dreamt of future possibilities. When they awoke, they each carried new burdens. The grieving horizon upon leaving the grove, they found the horizon darkened by a dome of morning mist. They crossed into it and felt a deep sorrow settle on their hearts. They passed graves with names they knew, but had never seen die. This place is preparing us, Elijah said, his voice hoarse, or testing us. A voice on the wind whispered, both. Keeper of the last breath, a cloaked figure met them at the mist's edge, seated atop a monument of bones. She called herself Seraphine, keeper of the last breath. I hold the end of all things, she said, and your end is malleable. She offered them one question each, truth in exchange for vulnerability. They answered, and she vanished, leaving only tears on their cheeks. The storm stared at last. The mountain loomed before them. The storm spun violently overhead, lightning dancing in unnatural patterns. A stairway of obsidian rose from the base, each step slick with rain and shadow. As they climbed, time distorted again, memories replayed with voices not their own. Alec staggered, nearly falling. This tower, it knows us. Lysandra took his hand, steadying him. Then let's remind it who we are. The sky cradle gate at the summit. They faced a gate made entirely of starlight and breath. It pulsed with recognition, then resistance. Only creators may pass, it declared. Elijah stepped forward, raised his palm. His steward's brand ignited. The gate unfolded like wings, and the storm quieted. Mirror-born requiem inside, the walls mirrored their reflections, except these were alive, watching. Each reflection moved slightly out of sync. These are the mirror-born, Lysandra explained, creations of failed worlds. One mirror-born stepped forward, weeping glass tears. We remember your kindness, it said to Alec. Another tried to stab Elijah. It vanished in flame when touched by his mark. Throne of broken dreams, they entered a chamber where a throne lay shattered, its pieces drifting in mid-air. This was the source, the heart of the mirror world. A violet pulse echoed from its center, calling for reconstruction. Lysandra stepped into the field of debris and began rearranging the shards. We build together, or not at all, she declared. Kale's return a ripple in the air. Kale stepped forth, not monstrous, not regal, but weary. He bowed. You've succeeded where I failed. Elijah raised his sword, then step aside. Kale laughed, tired and honest. I already have, but something else hasn't. A second form emerged, a corrupted version of Lysandra. The unmirror this shadow, Lysandra spoke with poisoned memory and wielded a broken flame. I am what she would have become had you abandoned her, she said. She attacked, and the tower shook with each blow. The real Lysandra stood firm, blade in hand, voice steady. I am not your mistake. I am my own choice. Twin flames united. Elijah and Lysandra combined their powers. Twin flames, one violet, one golden. The tower exploded in light, every mirror turning to smoke. The corrupted form shrieked and dissolved, whispering, we could have ruled. Only silence remained. Kyle knelt and vanished into dust. The final page in the tower's heart floated a blank book, glowing. It called for a final word. Alec wrote one sentence. They chose love over legacy. The book sealed itself and became a star. The world trembled, and then healed. Walkers of the rift, they stepped outside. The sky was whole. The storm was gone. In their palms the steward's brand faded, not gone, dormant, waiting. They were now more than heroes. They were walkers of the rift. And more stories waited, just beyond the next horizon.